Can you hear me? I just need a little bit of waiting for a second to see if Miss Liz can hear me. Hi there, girl. Thanks for coming and being my moderator. I guess I don't need these in right now, do I? It's good? Oh, okay, good. All right. So, I guess I'll grab that. All right. Well, why am I back here again today? I had some very interesting experiences after yesterday's live stream. So I thought that I would just come back here real quick and talk about some of that. Even just doing these live streams is like kind of like a new experiment for me, so how the energy is going to affect me with putting myself out there like this, like, is completely new. It's completely different. Like, even right now, I feel like sometimes I feel really confident and just really good throughout the whole thing. And then other times I'm like, ooh, whoa, like this, and I'm just trying to figure out how to make it so that way it feels pretty stable and level throughout the whole time. So after I said some of the things that I said yesterday, which I do think it triggered something, even if it was just something inside myself here, I really struggled yesterday with just even taking my own advice. And I just don't think that it was as simple as that, because, we've been having all these solar flares, these M5, I think they're called, solar flares. And I know that people get a lot more vivid dreams and stuff during this time. And I just think it's like little peeks into other realms. These dreams are just like little peeks into different things, and your mind is trying to comprehend what it's seeing in the best way it can. It's giving you the visuals that it can pull from, so I wanted to talk about today about the Mothmen and the Mothwoman, because they have been coming up a lot for me lately. Like, it all really started for me back in, let's see, this was like a year or so ago, where I actually was doing a meditation, and I had a moth woman come up to me. And I was like, oh, I was like, at first, I still remember it now, actually. I didn't know it was a moth woman at first. I remember seeing her approach me, and I couldn't really see the features all that clearly yet. And I thought it was an owl. I thought it was an owl woman. Yeah. And until we did this little, it was weird. It was like my eye focused differently. It was like I went, shoot, shoot. Okay. It literally like made that sound in my head, shoot, shoot. And we focused in on the antenna. Okay. Which I actually did bring something kind of fun to kind of show exactly what I'm, because, people, when I have visuals, now I know this is like kind of, this is kiddish. This is my daughter's. Okay. But when I zoomed in on what I thought were ear tufts of feathers of an owl woman, but actually it was the antenna of a moth woman. And so they kind of looked like this, but they didn't have the long hair coming. So that's just kind of fun. Yeah, my moth woman self. So anyway, I just said to her, I just was like, who are you? And she said, I'm you. And she popped right into my face. And I was like, okay, like, is this a moth woman version of me? Is that what this is? Like, that's kind of cool. I don't really mind that. I've always, even though all these, what is it, like the owl, okay, the darker, like a moth is like a dark butterfly, I've always really, I still love these things, even though the Matrix, or even though they, I don't want to say some key words here, even though they took over these symbols, like, I still appreciate them. I still love them, because especially like for the owl, like that's the animal, okay, and the goddess Athena is definitely one of my patron goddesses. Sandra, okay, like, names are important, okay, the name you when you come into this world. And I know that personally my past life history is tied to this name, this, where I've been. I even took a trip to Greece when I was 14. I happened to be able to go with my Latin class. We went to Greece, and we went to the Greek islands, and we went to Turkey, and I visited some very important places. And I picked up the codes from those places, and I didn't even know that's what that was doing until I got older now, and I understand these things more now. Like, I even got to go to the place where St. John wrote Book of Revelations. I think that was who it was. Yeah. And so, anyway, back to what I was saying about the symbols. So the Mothwoman, so I'm like, I don't know. Is this a another version of me? Is this a good version? Like is a moth a good thing? Because with the experiences that I have been having in the synchronicities coming up with Mothmen recently, I mean, obviously they don't seem like they're all that great. I guess. So I'm just kind of wondering, I'm like, where does this moth woman like fit into things? Because she's actually, kind of played a little key role in a couple of things that I've experienced. And so I have a friend, and she's one of my moderators, and she gave me permission to talk about her dream that she had. And so I really think that in combination, this is really kind of lining up with something they've been trying to tell me for a while. Because, yeah, they're attracted to lights, and what are starseeds? What are they? They shine. Sorry, hold on one second. Nope. Okay. Someone's trying to come outside, one of my children. I'm like, oh, no, I already told them I was going to be going live. So anyway, let's get to the dream. So I'm not really sure if these are great people or not. I'm sure they can't, obviously there's good and bad of all things, okay? So let's go to my little gallery where I took the screenshot so we can read through this dream and see if anyone else has been having some incidences with these types of beings. Okay. Because there's the other synchronicity that came in line with it was Ivan Teller, the channeler Ivan Teller. He's one of the people that I follow a lot, and I'm in his chat room every night pretty much. I listen, even if I'm not in the chat room, I'm listening, just because so many things that he talks about happens to line up with things that I'm already getting on my own. Like when I'm getting my own messages, I'm talking to my own guides. I post memes of things, and then later on that night he'll like talk about the very thing that I'm posting about in the memes, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like wow, like this, like so many synchronicities. So I always listen to his work because I just can tell that it's truth. I can just feel it, even though there's been things that he said that I've not been happy about. I remember when I first even started following him, the first video I watched, and I was someone who followed, the one letter of the alphabet that I don't want to say the keyword here. Okay, I followed that group a lot at that time, and I remember watching the channeling, and he was talking about how it was a psyop, and I was like, a positive one, he said, and I was like, what? I was like, no, like what is he talking about? But then I had to go, and I always just I listen to what people have to say, and then I just take it and I just go back and I just ask myself, what parts of this feels and is in alignment, and I could tell. Sadly, I could tell he was telling the truth on that one. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to keep following him. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more because I got another story I'm going to tell that actually is about a session I had with him. So let's get back to the moth people, right? These Mothmen, moth women. So my friend had this dream, and she said she had 3 of them. And the first one left her really shook. She said it looked like sort of Mothman beings. They were making these painful slits all over a group of men, various friends and lovers she had known, and they were harvesting their life force through blood. We were on a mountainside, then an other more powerful being appeared, and it was a succubus. These 3 other creatures worked for her. She would harvest energy from the soldier Mothmen, the things so that these men they were true middlemen. I actually said, oh, you're like middle management in my dream. I guess I was being shown the hierarchical structure of sexual energy harvesting. No, I butchered that word. But anyway, I do think that's what she was seeing. I really do think that's what she was seeing. And in the last part of it was she was not being fully harvested. She was able to trick them into leaving her alone. And at one point, she laid very still on rocky ground as they flew over her. She was able to observe everything. It was just really, really strange, she said. And the thing is, the craziest thing for, a synchronicity for me was the fact I had just posted, before she told me this dream, I just posted a picture, the one that is actually the thumbnail for the upcoming live that I put on there. And it's a Mothman. And he's on this rocky hill and looking down at these women and this men. Now, how did I experience that last night? Because I do think I experienced that. I do think that the things I said yesterday like triggered something, and I absolutely felt like I was getting attacked. It comes as a feeling, they get in through your own aura, your own holes, okay? You know what I'm saying? So they're using my own things to attack me, but like the hardest they ever could go. And I'm just in awe. I'm just like, I was like in shock, because they even got to someone who was very close to me and who I was in their presence yesterday, and they were literally, I could just feel these entities just working through him to attack me. And all I could do is just sit there and just be in shock. Like, I can't even believe, like, I actually did exactly what you talked about in the dream. I just tried to lay there and pretend like I wasn't there, I guess, a little bit, kind of like, and like, well, don't know that. Like, I didn't know what else to say, and it seemed like once I confronted that, once I just realized, like, okay, wait a second, I just asked for more help to send everyone who's struggling like that. Everyone, like, just send them help, send them love. I know that part of our connection and people being triggered and relating to maybe what I said, even in negative ways, like, I just felt like I was transmuting the people I was connected to. That was part of it, even though, like I said, it's coming in my own way, my own experience, and using my own insecurities. I guess I got put to the test. Am I going to follow my own advice? And so I had to, and I am doing the best that I can to overcome those things. I'm not perfect. I still have my own struggles, and so I just thought the best way to get over feeling bad about one live stream is to just do another one. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to feel way more. I have a little bit better idea too, like what I need to do and to prepare ahead of time, because I noticed the 2 live streams that I did that I didn't feel that great about. Like, I had done a lot of things out in the world physically, where I had to like go into like buildings, and it's just so hard. It's just, for me, going into public places, it's like I immediately feel this just thickness of energy when I walk into the places, and it's hard and it throws me off. So even though I had all this great stuff planned out for like the whole day and a half beforehand, it just totally got bleh, and came out all bungled. So I decided, we're going to make sure that we take the time to really prepare better next time, and that's what I did today. So let's see, let me look at the chat real quick and take a breath here, because there is one more thing I wanted to go over. That's right, Alexis. It was. I was there at St. John's. It was inside a cave, and it was quite something. It was quite something. I also got to go to the Oracle of Delphi Mountain. Like, I got to climb the mountain to the spot where the Oracle would do her divining. So that was fun. It was a beautiful land. I highly recommend anyone who can travel to it definitely take the opportunity. I also went to the temple of, God, I'm not even going to be able to say it, this Turkish freaking city, Ephesus. I think that might have been it. There's like really ancient town there. The island of Crete. Oh man, that was a good one. To see the actual, just the beautiful paintings, and that's where the Minotaur legend was born. The island of Crete is where supposedly that labyrinth is at. So that's really cool to know. Let me see what else we got going on here. Hi everyone in the chat. Hi Tinfoil Hatter. Nice to have you here. Yeah, see, I'm not turned off by the Mothman, Mothwoman thing, but I am a little bit when it comes to if they're going to be messing with me like this, or people like this, like, what the heck? What's going on with these guys? Can you just be cool? Like, please don't harvest me. They're just so pretty. I don't know. I just love any winged creatures, so yeah. All right, let's see. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about, because, I figured part of doing the whole live streams was to have fun and to tell some of my really cool stories that I don't really get to talk about very much. And I do have a lot of really cool experiences with different beings, interdimensional beings, I guess you could say, coming to me. And the other one I wanted to talk about was so I had a session once with Ivan Teller, And I don't really have sessions often. I don't know why. I don't usually feel very comfortable doing sessions, but Spirit really told me, like, before you go to this conference that you're going to see him at, you need to have a session with him. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And I had to come up with all these questions. If you ever get a chance to have a session with him, definitely do it. Channel your higher self and ask and get a bunch of questions ready and just have at it. You know what I'm saying? Just, you'll feel if it's right or not. Now, personally, for me, I felt it was right because he was just confirming all these other things that I had already had my own thoughts on. And so it was like, well, what were some of those things? Well, he told me I was a tall fairy being, my higher self. He channeled my higher self. He told me I was a tall fairy being. That I kind of, what I kind of do is I travel the universe and look for people to offer opportunities to, like, as the blue fairy, like, that's what she does, right? She made Pinocchio a real boy, that type of thing. He told me that this was the funniest one, and I love telling people this one because my son Henry, okay, he is, let's see, he's 10 now. Well, when he was little, ever since he was little, he still does this. I always call him a walking book because he literally talks like he's a book, and he would make catalogs of different creatures, these creatures that he would pull from. Okay, and they were just crazy things, and he would label them with numbers and things like that. And I'd be like, you're just like a walking book, child. And so I channeled my higher self, and apparently he actually is literally a flying book from another dimension. He was like, just picture, he's like, imagine you need to know something, and suddenly a book flies in and opens to the thing you need to know. That's my son. He wanted to come have a lifetime on Earth with me, so my flying book is here with me now. Love that. So anyway, the other thing I was going to get into, because I did actually see this being, but he did tell me that I had a boyfriend in the astral that was a red dragon that calls himself Marduk, so I'm like, again, like, why are these Marduk? Really? Okay, Marduk. So I got to thinking about it, though. After he told me that, I was like, okay, well, that's kind of cool, like, have a red dragon boyfriend. But, one day I got to thinking about it. I was in my kitchen, and I just said to myself, some boyfriend. A red dragon boyfriend. When is the last time I seen my red dragon boyfriend around here? Like, I think I would remember. So yeah, I just know that he's there. I don't never get to see him. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, and I forgot about it. I'm just having silly talks with myself during the day, and then weird things happen after I have these talks. And so that's why I know they're always listening. They've told me this multiple times. They're always listening to me. They're always trying to interact with me somehow. They're always able to drop little breadcrumbs for me to find. And it's adorable. I love it. So how did this pan out? How did I end up seeing this guy? Because he came. I was laying in my bed that night. I'd totally forgotten that I'd even said anything. And I was doing my nightly meditating. And I was laying there. And no one else was in the bed with me. No one else was in the room with me. And I literally felt the physical weight of something climb up onto my bed. And it climbed up. And it actually moved. I could feel it. It moved like a Komodo dragon does, though. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? So I checked, I opened my mind's eye. I looked to see what's there, and I can see it. I can see this red dragon, and he looked like a Komodo dragon, and he looked like, and this is how dragons always look to me in the astral and in dream space and in the ethers, whatever you want to call it. Okay. They always look like they are actually on fire, like they are flaming with like opal essence. What is the word? Come on. Like, oh, like an actual opal. Yeah, like you can kind of see. Kind of looks like that. Yeah. So it actually looked like, yeah, and it looked like that. So his skin was red, but his flames were like orange, white, and red. And it was so beautiful. And so anyway, he climbed over top of me. And I was looking at him, and he was like, I'm here. And I was just like, oh my God, he's here. Like he came. I was like so happy, like, because that's really how a lot of times I can tell too when those things are actually really happening for me, because the frequency of joy and the frequency of just love in my heart, it makes me burst, and just like a little child, I'm just laughing and giggling. And, and I think that's another reason why, I feel so in sync with people who can channel and are having you can see the joy. You can see the joy in them as they're doing it, and I don't know, that just really resonates with me. So that's what I have for you guys. Let me check the chat again, because I'm gonna do a little card pull for us for today, just for fun. Exactly. Wow. The aurora of the earth is literally spiking. Oh, you know what I didn't finish talking about was the name thing. They're just reminding me of that. My name. So my name actually was a Trojan princess. Okay, and she was a goddess. No, she was a priestess for, not a goddess, for the god Apollo, I'm pretty sure. And what happened was he gave her the gift of prophecy, but apparently, then she wouldn't let him have his way with her, and so he cursed her to never be believed. And so she was the one that actually had said, "Beware Greeks bearing gifts." And of course, they didn't listen because she was cursed. She was blessed and she was cursed. So quite honestly, that is how I have felt for a large majority of my life. Which is another reason why I'm kind of transitioning out of the name Cassandra and over to Aurora, because I feel like, like I'm here to signal the dawn, right? I'm here to signal the dawn of new Earth coming. Even time wise, and I don't know how long that's going to take time wise. I just know I'm going to be here for it. How long that's going to take, I don't know. Okay. So yeah, 2 solar flares today. It's crazy. I'm sure people are going to get all sorts of ascension symptoms. Yep. And if you want to know more about that, you can go see my friend Alexis at Ascension Diaries. She does some great work. Definitely come hang out with us there. Come and hang out with us at all the chats that I list off. I like having friends. So come and hang out in Ivan's chat. Come hang out in Matthew's chat, Matthew Morning's chat. Come hang out in Alexis's chat. Who else am I forgetting? Journey to Truth. Yep, that's a great chat. Let's see. So, oh, hello there, little friend. Oh, speaking of moths, one just landed here. Oh, goodbye. Okay. All right. So let's do a card pull. Okay. This is your reminder. Be kind to yourself. We are all feeling it for each other. Please be kind to yourself. Really, I care about your heart. I care about the pain that you're in. I want people to feel joy. I know what it's like to be all alone and in the dark. And I just want to be a little bit of a light, if I can be here. Help pull people out of that darkness. So we're doing a reading for the collective today for this live stream. Anyone who's going to watch this live stream in the future, please, Spirit, let me know what you need to be aware of. Okay. One more? What? Oh, one more. Okay, there we go. Okay. Here we go. It's opening the heart. It's really been coming in a lot lately. Just letting the heart unfold, like the origami. Okay, like so many people that I follow talk about that. The heart actually, it's meant to expand. We're meant to feel so many different types of love and joy. I know it can be a scary thing. So I'm just asking that you guys open your hearts up with me right now and let more love into it. Okay, what we got? Whee! Oh man, what's going on here, guys? Yeah. I think Alexis got that one in her live stream the other day too, didn't she? It was like the card that was all chewed up. So holding on to something, please don't, especially with just talking about that heart space, is that he's got that right there, like kind of like what I was talking about yesterday with, you got to let go of the things that aren't serving you anymore. Things you gotta be open to that. You might not know what best looks like for you, what your highest timeline of love and joy. Maybe you don't know. You think you do, maybe, but maybe there's a way to just release more of that. You don't know how to love more. Well, maybe release that to God. Release that fear to God. That's a fear too. Being afraid that you don't know how to do it. Like you do. If I can do it, I am an example because we are equals. So just open your heart to love. I just can really feel it right now. I'm just really. There we go. Oh, shoot. Whew. Okay, so yeah, is there any other words I can think of in regards to this? Wanting to feel secure, wanting to feel stable and secure. I can understand that. Letting go of fears, because sometimes those fears can be comfortable and they can feel normal, and they like at least they've been there. You know what I'm saying? What will fill their place if you let that go? You know, maybe you won't feel that stability and security anymore, even if it is just all inside your own self, in your own mind, because he's got that one above his head too. Yeah, I'm really sending some love and some prayers to everyone out there right now. I really hope that everyone is safe and is really finding their place in this world. I just really wish that for everyone, that everyone finds their spot and their place in this world and feels safe and secure and loved and wanted and needed, and like it's okay just to exist as exactly who they are, and that is a good thing. Because I truly believe that with all my heart. I truly believe that. And the people who are meant to hear that will hear that, and that is me speaking directly to you. That message is for you. So I really hope that you take that in, because even one person hearing it is enough for me to feel like I accomplished something. So thank you guys for listening and being here with me. I don't want to get myself too emotional right now. I'm starting to do that. So so I'm going to stop. I feel a lot better about this live stream than yesterday's. I did a lot of different approach here. So I love you guys. I'm going to take off. I hope everyone has a blessed and wonderful day. Bye-bye.